on, you guys? It's your boy Alex West Collects here, bringing you another figure review. And today we're taking a look at the historic Elite Series 100 from Mattel. We're taking a look at Stunning Steve Austin, The Rock, and John Cena. If you are interested in grabbing these figures, they are now available and shipping from ringsidecollectibles.com. As always, use promo code FORLIFE. It will save you 10% off your order at checkout. So I can't believe we're here. First and foremost, huge congratulations to the Mattel team on this huge accomplishment. Elite Series 100 is no joke. I know we did get to that in the basic series. Mattel did something a little special for that line, but as collectors, most of us grab the Elites and the Ultimate figures on the upper tier, and it's crazy to think that we're at Elite Series 100. Again, I did not jump on the Mattel bandwagon right away. I was a little hesitant. I was collecting Jacks later in their run, and when they switched to Mattel, I was like, I don't want to start all over again. I have all these Jacks figures. I don't want to have to get rid of them. And I felt like the Mattel figures were a little cartoony, but they've evolved to such great figures. I'm a huge fan of this line, as we all are. Obviously, we all tune into these videos and collect these figures. They just bring me so much joy, and you know, they've evolved into just unbelievable pieces with the interchangeable hands and heads, and you know, with the Ultimate Edition with the added articulation. And this set is no joke. And let's be honest, Elite Series 100 is something we've all been speculating about for the last few years, right? We've been trying to kind of piece some ideas to what Mattel's putting together, because they've had, I'm sure, this set in their mind for a while as well. And we were all throwing our guesses. I mean, a lot of us, I feel like they were going to go the same kind of route with a basic Series 100. And I kind of understand why they didn't. You know, we got a bunch of top guys. We had Shawn Michaels. We had The Rock, Stone Cold, John Cena, and The Undertaker. And they were phenomenal figures, new head scans. For basics, which most of us don't usually buy, they were pretty damn good. I'll be honest, I bought a few of them. So in my mind, I thought for sure we were going to go something similar to that route and get more top guys. And not to say that these aren't top guys within Elite Series 100, but we got Stunning Steve Austin versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? We got Andre the Giant in his suit versus like his ring gear. In my mind, you're getting the best or most iconic look from that character, but that's not the route they went with. And I'm okay with that. But in my mind, that's what I think a lot of us collectors thought. So I'm sure it kind of took the sail out of the winds when we were like, oh, we're getting Stunning Steve Austin. But the packaging one is 100%, you know, very unique. I'm sure we're not going to see this again. Elite Series 100, the beautiful artwork by Jonathan Bartlett. One of them, you know, a guy, I have a few posters hanging up in my man cave, so that is pretty cool. And all these figures, from what I understand, all have new head scans. I think Andre the Giant is supposedly the only one from this set that does not. So Stunning Steve Austin, obviously not a guy I'm very familiar with because he's before my time, but he comes with the NWA Television Heavyweight Championship belt. I know a lot of you guys were saying that I think the strap is inaccurate. I'll be honest, I'm not a big belt guy, so I don't know. You could have fooled me. I'm not a guy who like is a big stickler for the belts, but that is obviously a selling point with this set. So we're getting, you know, the special packaging, but also we're getting first time in the line championship belts for all of these figures. So you're seeing the NWA Television Championship belt here. You'll see he does come with this awesome soft goods robe, and the kind of the backdrop is very unique to each character. So I'm going to say this is kind of like that multicolored kind of match his shorts that he has on underneath. I don't know if you guys can see that. You get the awesome image of Stunning Steve Austin here on the front, designed by Jonathan Bartlett himself. Moving on to The Rock, so we're getting the Brahma Bull Championship belt, and obviously this is more of a fantasy belt, never really made it to WWE television, I think. So it's kind of cool to have it. You know, I'm a big Rock guy, so that'll be something that'll be awesome to display with my figures. The jersey is identical to what we got with the Top Picks figure, if you guys do have that in your collection. Obviously that had red sleeves and more of the red outline. This is a variation with the blue. You also get the interchangeable hands and the glasses that we've seen time and time again with The Rock. You'll see the backdrop has that electricity. I really do like that, electrifying the crowd. Awesome image of The Rock with the belt here. And I do like that all these images really showcase the belt that they're coming with too. So that is a nice touch by Mattel. And we have John Cena here with his chain gang chain in his hands. I absolutely love how he's posed in that packaging. And I will admit, this is kind of like a little similar to the old mission. Maybe not. He did have a different color of jorts, but the hat and the wristbands, similar. I know they're different. I'm not saying they're identical, but I would have liked a little more variation. He doesn't come with a t-shirt, but for the first time, you are getting the spinner belt. So this isn't the first belt that Mattel has designed that spins. We did have that rated R belt from, I think that was a ringside exclusive. Was it the Edge figure that the actual rated R did spin? So this is the first time I think we're getting the spinner. So that is a new design for the belt. The head scan, to me, I'm going to say it's new because that's what Mattel's telling us. And if I remember what came with the Old Mission figures, I'm going to say it is a new scan. So you also do get a new head with Cena, which is a plus. He does come with the open hands to do the "You Can't See Me." But looking at the packaging further, you will see the Elite Series 100 in the silver foil on each of these figures. The awesome kind of white outline Elite logo. That looks really good. I absolutely do love that. Flipping over to the other side, you'll see the nameplates here and the nice kind of silver design as well. Looking at the bottom, you have the Elite Collection logo. Flipping over to the other side, the awesome images here designed by Jonathan Bartlett. Elite Series 100. Awesome images of The Rock, Cena, and Steve Austin on the back. Probably my favorite part. You know, generally you get like kind of like a still photo or something for real time for each superstar. Here you get the nice design by Jonathan Bartlett. You can see his signature here. You got the read up on the top as well as the other figures in the wave. Elite Series 100 is here. Let's come back and crack all three of these guys out of their packaging. And starting us off, we are taking a look at stunning Steve Austin out of his packaging, and his accessories do include a set of open interchangeable hands. You also, of course, do get this television championship belt. It does have some nice detail, nice vac, shiny finish to it. Again, like I said earlier, I'm not sure how accurate it is. I know some people had said this belt is not accurate. He had a different color strap or whatnot, but all in all, it looks pretty good. It's hard for you guys to see on this camera, but there is some writing here on the lines in between the red. It says Television Heavyweight Wrestling Champion on there. So some nice detailing to that. Additionally, you get this awesome soft goods robe. You can see the stars with the black and the red going down the sleeves on both sides. Additionally, you get some more detailing on the inside here underneath the collar. Some more logos. This feels like a nice soft goods fabric robe. Really high quality. Take a look at it off of the figure. You can see the details and designs on the back. The belt is actually sewn in there. So if you guys do remember the older Mattel figures, the belt and straps were more free-floating. Now they're in the robe, so it makes it a lot easier to tie. But getting a look at stunning Steve Austin. So we did receive the Hollywood Blondes version in an Elite set a while back. Now we're getting him with the more, I guess the longer hair. He's got the ponytail. The torso looks to be the same as the ones they've used for prior Stone Cold Steve Austin figures. So that kind of carries on here. And you can see the awesome designs on the trunks. The kind of multicolor design that he was going for when he was stunning Steve Austin during this era. Again, he's got the awesome ponytail, double jointed arms, got the wrist tape. He does have the white boots with the black knee pads. So very simple, minus the obvious designs on his trunks. But getting a close-up on that head scan. Some decent likeness. I can see Stone Cold here. Again, this is just not what we're used to seeing when it comes to an iconic character. Definitely something different in his earlier iteration. For your Steve Austin comparisons, we have quite a few different variations here. So on the very left, we have the Ultimate Edition Stone Cold Steve Austin. Probably still my favorite Stone Cold in my collection. We have the original WCW release of the Hollywood Blondes. Stunning Steve Austin here. And you can see the difference in the head scan. So he had kind of started to thin out a little bit with the hair. He cut a little shorter than what he had here. And then eventually, obviously, he goes bald. And then on the very right, we have, I think this is the Hall of Fame or Hall of Fame, I'm going to say, Stone Cold Steve Austin figure. It's just been so long. It's so many series. Again, we're at Series 100. It's hard to keep track of. But personally, what I would have done for Series 100, I know it wouldn't have fit the kind of format that Mattel went with obviously the new belts. I would have loved to have seen a version of this Stone Cold with the black jorts. Maybe the jersey he was wearing around this era, or maybe the other Austin 316 shirt with the kind of the red and the orange or yellow outline. That's kind of the route I personally would have preferred for Series 100, but I will say that this stunning Steve Austin is a pretty good figure. And up next, we're taking a look at John Cena, and as far as his accessories go, you do get a set of open interchangeable hands. You do also get this nice necklace. We have seen the Chain Gang necklace before. I think the first figure to get it was the Defining Moments John Cena that we got a long time ago. I'm not sure where we've seen it again, but it does look really nice. Kind of has a nice kind of silver finish to it. Not too shiny, but a nice kind of color painted on here. You can see the nice detailing, even on the chain itself. The hat, again, is removable. Take a look at that. I don't know if this is the same as what came with the Ultimate Edition figure, but we'll definitely compare it when we get there. You can see it says C Nation here on the back. I'm thinking the Ultimate Edition was just plain black, maybe a similar logo. I don't even know if it had the C Nation logo there on the back. And of course, I think the big selling point to this figure is without a doubt this championship belt here. So we have seen the spinner belt where it actually spins a few times in the Mattel line, but let's try to give this a whirl here. Now, this is supposed to spin, but it's not really moving. It's got a little movement to it, if you guys can see that, but it's not like something that's going to move crazy easy. So here's a good example. This is the other spinner belt we got from Mattel, the Rated R belt. Look how easily that spins. And I always thought this was a little too easy. You could hear them kind of rattle. I never really liked that. And this just doesn't really want to spin. I don't want to break it, but like very little movement to it. You can see it moves, but it's kind of hard. Don't forget, we also did get the US title that did have the spinning feature too. And look how easily they... I hope it's just mine, maybe. Or maybe I kind of got to play with it. You can see how much thicker the plate is. And I'll bring another spinner belt here. But with the edge belt, there is some thickness to these belts versus just like a standard spinner belt that does not spin. You can see that here. Just a thicker plate. So it's kind of like another piece, kind of... I'm thinking like a coin or something, but mine doesn't really spin. That's a little disappointing, but anyways, moving along here, you'll see the prior release versions that we got. I think this is the one that came with the Ultimate Edition figure, and the new one here. The belt's a little disappointing, to be honest. Looking at Cena, he does come with a new head scan, so we're being told. I think he may have had a straight face scan on the Ultimate Edition, and this one kind of has a little bit of a smile, so it's hard to tell the difference. Very slight differentiation from what we've gotten prior. You will see the logos on the armbands here. It's got the WWE logo. Got the Chain Gang over here. Same on the other side, both with the black molded wristbands. I do like that. You can see the kind of word life sticking out. I don't know if it's his boxers or whatever it's supposed to be. And the traditional jorts that we've gone with all Cena figures. I feel like it's time to change these shoe molds. I don't know about you guys, but every Cena figure I have on display, the sneakers get loose, and he eventually just kind of does the smooth criminal lean. I just don't like it. I think it's just outdated, and it's time for a change, especially with that. For your John Cena comparisons, here we have a few different top pick figures, and what I'm really noticing with all the Cena figures I have is they all come with a t-shirt, and I feel like this Elite Series 100 figure just seems kind of empty without one. Also, we have the Ultimate Edition John Cena figures to compare versus the Elite Series 100. And again, they all came with t-shirts. Really, I feel like completes the look. I think I did swap out one of these wristbands. I think he did have a black and a white one. Kind of wanted to make something similar to like the One Night Stand John Cena until we get that. But here's the hat that came with Elite Series 100. You will see it is similar to the Ultimate Edition, but not quite exactly. I actually like the Elite Series 100 hat a lot more, just some more deco hits to it. Looks really nice. And again, you will see the face scan is new. This is the kind of straight face one we got with the Ultimate Edition versus the Screaming scan. And then also you had this smiling scan that came with it. So the new head comparisons you can see here with the Elite 100. And lastly, we're taking a look at the great one, The Rock. He gets quite a few interchangeable hands. So you do get a set of the standard open hands. I don't know why we keep getting these with The Rock, and instead of the Just Bring It hands, they have specifically molded hands. I don't think it costs more to include it. I don't know if they just want to keep it with something special, but with this being Elite 100, I feel like it would have been a perfect opportunity to throw it in here. I don't know if they just don't want to include on regular Elites, but I feel like every Rock video, I've stated the same thing. We don't get those Just Bring It hands. We get the same kind of standard hands. You do get a set of mic holding hands with the other one being on the figure, and a set of fisted hands. Additionally, something we have seen many of times before, you get the gold glasses with the black shades. We've seen this all the way going back to Legend Series 3 from the earlier days of Mattel. And taking a look at the Rock's Special Championship belt here, you can see the Brahma Bull title. Looks really nice. I do like the way that came out. Again, this is kind of more like a fantasy title. You can see he's got the Brahma Bull logo here. It's got champion on the bottom. Some nice freaking designs. It says The Rock. I don't know if you guys can see that on one of the plates. Got another image of the Brahma Bull WWE logo. Looks really good. Even some nice stitching kind of design on the top of the belt here. It's hard to see, guys, with the camera, but this does have some nice little nuances. Of the belt itself. Just looks really good. And it's a shame he never got his own custom belt. I feel like Stone Cold had one. Only made sense for The Rock to have one. He was just as big during the Attitude Era. Some may argue bigger. And additionally, you do get this jersey, the soft goods shirt. This has a nice kind of thickness to it. It does have number 1 on the sides. We did see this similar shirt from the Top Picks Rock figure. It had a black Brahma Bull with a red outline. I think on the sides it had the Brahma Bull logo. Here you have number 1, and on the other side, number 1 as well. Some nice thickness to it. Again, Velcro's here in the back. And we will remove it, and so we can take a look at the trunks underneath. And this is just some nice quality to it. I don't know if it's thicker. I remember the Top Picks shirt being maybe a little thinner, but I have it. We will compare it. But this looks really nice. I really do like how that came out. And here we have The Rock. He's got the red Rock logo on his trunk, so not something we've seen before. He does have a new head scan, and I'm going to bring this in real close. I don't know if I really like it. It's very similar to the Rock and Sock 2-pack that came out. It is different. That was just kind of a smirk. This kind of has like a little grin to it, and I don't know. It's not bad. I like the mutton chops. I like the sculpted hair. I just don't care for the expression. Just looking at it, it just looks a little off. But looking at the trunks, you can see the red Rock logo here. On the back, you have the red Brahma Bull. No designs on the elbow pads, but I will say it is a different, softer material that we've been seeing with the Ultimates as far as passing over here to the Elites. Knee pads, and your standard basic black Rock boots. But anyways, let's move on to some comparisons. And starting us off first on the left. So this is actually the Ultimate Edition Rock, which I threw the Top Picks jersey on. And on the right, we have the Greatest Hits Elite Rock that came out not too long ago. And I will say the jerseys actually do feel to be about the same thickness. I will say even the sleeves, they do feel exactly the same. So if you guys want to get a quick kind of look at the differences with the jersey, I still remember the red being one that was more prevalent. I don't really remember the blue one being used as much. So I personally, just because of that, I prefer the red one, but I do feel like the blue one looks really nice too. And next up, we have the most recent WrestleMania Elite Rock here from WrestleMania 18 on the left. And on the right, we have the Rock from the Rock and Sock 2-pack that came with Mankind. And you can see the heads here are similar, different facial expression. You can see he's got more of a big smile versus the smirk. I personally don't really care for any of these heads. Definitely not my favorite Rock scans versus, something like the WrestleMania 18. Obviously a different era, but something like this, I feel like they nailed spot on. Looks a lot like the Rock, and I feel like these two kind of missed the boat a little bit. As we wrap up this video with some final thoughts, if you guys haven't already, please make sure to do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget, we still have the second half of Elite 102 review. That is coming up next. We have Andre the Giant, Becky Lynch, and Rey Mysterio. So make sure to turn on those notification bells. During that review, we will definitely rank the set from my favorite to my least favorite. But as far as these three figures go, starting off with Stunning Steve Austin, I'll be honest, is this a figure that I was like clamoring for in my collection like Would my life not be complete if I didn't get this version of Stunning Steve Austin? Probably not. If they never made it, I probably wouldn't have batted an eyelash, to be honest. But he's here, and I'm happy to have him in my collection. I still feel like Elite 100 was not the spot for him. I much rather have had a Stone Cold Steve Austin, like I said, him in the black shorts with like the baseball jersey and maybe an Austin 316 shirt. But again, it wouldn't have fit the formula that they're going for with the custom first time ever championship belts. So I understand that, but just something about it, I mean, I don't know. Something's missing. It just doesn't feel super special to me, just to be honest. John Cena, the figure, again, I'm a little disappointed. I'll be honest. I feel like he's just lacking a soft goods shirt. And, generally with John Cena's, we get, a hat, dog tags, a shirt, and, maybe another chain. I get it. They couldn't maybe fit it with a budget. Obviously, they went all out with the packaging and, the newly sculpted belt, so I get it. But, again, something about it just doesn't scream special for Elite 100. The belt, to me, is at this point, I hope it's just mine that's not spinning, and that kind of just, it sucks a little bit that maybe I got something with a little bit of a QC issue. I'm curious to see what you guys who order this set have to say. Let me know in the comments down below if your belt spins kind of freely like the edge belt, but mine doesn't really seem to move. But it is a plus up. It does look a lot nicer. It does even have different side plates as far as the original. It has like the WWE kind of logo on the side too, so that is a plus. The head scan, it looks so similar to prior release Cena's that you wouldn't even be able to tell that it's new. It's a good scan, but I don't know. I feel like it just, again, doesn't scream must-have. The Rock is probably my favorite out of the three. I do really like the jersey. I love his championship belt. And then, from then on, it really is the same old kind of Rock formula that we've seen with prior Elites. I don't even think this is my favorite Rock that was recently released. I feel like the WrestleMania one was still one of my favorites. The head scan just doesn't have the greatest likeness to the Rock. But the belt itself and the jersey, I think, are, really make it worth grabbing alone. And again, if you are interested in grabbing these three figures, they are now available at ringsidecollectibles.com. Don't forget to use promo code 4LIFE. It will save 10% off your order. Stay tuned for my second half wave review of Elite 100. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more great figure news. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll catch you all on the next one.